Jake worked as a mechanic in a small garage in Ohio where life was simple and steady. Every morning he arrived early, prepared his tools, and greeted customers with a calm smile. He believed his job was not just about fixing cars, but also about helping people who depended on them daily. Despite earning a modest income, Jake always treated every customer fairly. He never overcharged anyone and often gave honest advice instead of pushing unnecessary repairs. His co-workers sometimes laughed at his kindness, saying he would never get rich with such a soft heart. But Jake never let their words change him. One cold afternoon, while organizing tools outside, Jake noticed an elderly woman standing beside her old car near the roadside. She looked worried and confused, holding her hands together as if unsure what to do next. Jake immediately sensed she needed help and walked toward her. The woman explained that her car had suddenly stopped working. Her voice trembled slightly as she admitted she didn't have enough money for expensive repairs. Hearing this, Jake felt a deep sense of sympathy. He couldn't just walk away knowing she was stranded and helpless on such a cold day. Without hesitation, Jake opened the car's hood and began checking the engine. He quickly realized that several parts were damaged and needed fixing. It wasn't a quick job, but he decided to help anyway. He carefully pushed the car into the garage and got to work. For the next few hours, Jake worked patiently, repairing wires, replacing small components, and adjusting the engine. He used spare parts available in the garage to reduce costs. The elderly woman sat nearby, quietly watching him, still worried about how much she would have to pay for everything. Finally, after hours of effort, Jake finished repairing the car. He cleaned his hands and walked over with a gentle smile. "Your car is ready," he said. The woman looked relieved and grateful. She slowly reached into her purse, asking how much she owed him for the repair. Jake paused for a moment, then shook his head kindly. "You don't owe me anything," he said softly. The woman was shocked. She insisted on paying something, but Jake refused. He simply told her to take care and drive safely. Her eyes filled with gratitude as she thanked him deeply. However, Jake's boss had been watching everything from inside the office. As soon as the woman drove away, he stormed out angrily. He accused Jake of wasting company resources and treating the business like a charity. Jake tried to explain, but his boss refused to listen. In a moment of anger, his boss fired him immediately. Jake stood there in silence, heartbroken but calm. Slowly, he gathered his tools and walked out of the garage. Though he had lost his job, deep inside, he knew he had done the right thing by helping someone in need. Jake spent the next few days struggling to adjust to his sudden unemployment. He searched for jobs, visited nearby garages, and made countless calls, but nothing seemed to work out. His savings were limited, and the uncertainty about his future began to weigh heavily on his mind with each passing day. Despite his situation, Jake never regretted helping the elderly woman. He reminded himself that doing the right thing was more important than money. Still, late at night, he couldn't ignore the worry creeping into his thoughts. He wondered if kindness always came with a price, or if something better awaited him ahead. One morning, Jake received an unexpected phone call from an unknown number. The voice on the other end was calm and professional, inviting him to visit a corporate office in downtown Chicago. Confused and curious, Jake hesitated at first, but eventually decided to go and see what the opportunity might be. Dressed in his cleanest clothes, Jake arrived at the tall office building. Everything felt unfamiliar and intimidating compared to his small-town garage. As he entered, the receptionist greeted him politely and asked him to wait. Jake sat quietly, trying to understand why he had been called to such a place. After a few minutes, he was escorted into a large office. To his surprise, the elderly woman he had helped days earlier was sitting behind a polished desk, dressed elegantly and confidently. Jake stood frozen, unable to process what he was seeing. She smiled warmly, recognizing him immediately without hesitation. The woman revealed that she was not an ordinary customer, but the owner of a nationwide automotive company. She explained that she sometimes visited places unnoticed to observe how workers treated people when no one important seemed to be watching them. Jake listened carefully, still in disbelief at her revelation. She told him that his kindness, honesty, and willingness to help without expecting anything in return had deeply impressed her. While others focused only on profit, Jake had shown true character. She believed that people like him were rare and valuable, especially in a business where trust meant everything. Then she offered Jake a life-changing opportunity. She invited him to join her company as a regional service manager, overseeing multiple repair centers. The position came with a high salary, benefits, and the chance to build a meaningful career. Jake was completely stunned by the unexpected offer. For a moment, Jake struggled to find words. Just days ago, he had lost everything, and now he was being given a chance beyond his imagination. He felt a deep sense of gratitude and relief. With a humble smile, he accepted the offer, promising to stay true to his values no matter what. As Jake left the office, his heart felt lighter than ever before. He realized that kindness had not cost him his future. It had shaped it. Sometimes, doing the right thing may seem like a loss in the moment, but in the end, it can lead to opportunities greater than anything we ever expect.